daily driving. One gave a Civic 11 Extra MPG, another made a V6 spank a Mustang GT. Stick around because I'll reveal the most dangerous mod I've ever seen. It melted a turbo and cost one guy $6,300. Let's get started. Mod number 10. High flow air filter. First time I saw someone swap a stock air filter for a high flow one, I laughed. Thought it was a gimmick. But then I drove the damn car. Throttle felt snappier. Idle was smoother. MPG ticked up just a bit. I shut my mouth real quick. A high-flow air filter lets your engine breathe the way it wants to breathe. Stock filters are fine if you're just grocery getting, but if you give a damn about performance or long-term reliability, upgrade it. I've put these on trucks, tuners, old muscle, daily beaters, you name it. K and NA, EMS and B. Proven brands that don't fall apart like the cheap crap online. And yeah, they cost more up front, but they're washable and reusable. One good one can outlast 10 paper filters. Pays for itself. Big mistake folks make, slapping it in and calling it a cold air intake. It's not. And don't go soaking it in oil like you're basting a turkey. Too much oil can foul up your MAF sensor. It's a simple mod, takes minutes, but it lays the foundation for every other upgrade. Better air in, better performance out. But if you think breathing in better air matters, wait till we reprogram the brain behind it all. Mod number 9. ECU Remap. Your engine's capable of a hell of a lot more than the factory tune allows. But the stock ECU is playing it safe. Fuel economy, emissions, smooth drivability for your grandma. That's what it's built for. You want real performance, you tune it. An ECU remap done right wakes the engine up like a shot of adrenaline. I'm talking sharper throttle, more torque, better timing, optimized fuel curves. I've tuned bone stock engines that felt like a whole new machine after a proper map. But here's the trap. Don't use garbage tunes from forums or cheap flash tools. Had a guy come in once with a bricked ECU. He tried to tune it himself off some $40 USB dongle. His car ran like trash, knocked like hell, burnt the valves, nearly torched the engine. Used legit platforms like HP tuners. Great for GM, Ford, and Dodge platforms. Tons of control. Cobb access port, perfect for Subarus, Mazdas, and Fords. Plug and play with dyno-ready maps. Honda made for Hans and Acuras. Super precise and highly tunable. These aren't just fancy names. They're proven tools that pros rely on. And speaking of pros, get it tuned by someone who knows their way around a dyno. This isn't a video game. You're rewriting the brain of a car. Treat it with respect. You've just unlocked hidden power, but now that you're pushing harder, you better let that exhaust flow like it means business. Mod number 8. Cold air intake. This one's tricky. Cold air intakes get hyped to hell. Every 19-year-old with a socket set thinks slapping on a shiny pipe makes them a race car engineer. Most of them are just sucking in hot engine bay air and losing power. But a properly designed cold air intake placed outside the heat zone, sealed off, pulling fresh, dense air, that's a real upgrade. I installed one on a 6th gen Camaro with a heat shield and fender well scoop. Paired it with a tune, picked up 10 to 15 horsepower at the wheels. Not bad for bolt-on and done right. But here's where folks screw it up. They buy a generic pipe off eBay, throw it on near the exhaust manifold, and wonder why their car feels sluggish. It ain't about looks, it's about air temperature. Cooler air packs more oxygen. More oxygen means better combustion. Simple science. And don't ignore your MAF sensor. Relocate it wrong and your AFR goes haywire. Boom! Check engine light. Stick with names like AEM, Einen, or Volant. They've tested their stuff. They didn't just bend pipes in a backyard and call it performance. We've got air coming in cold and clean now. But what if I told you we could make the engine spin easier too? Mod number 7, lightweight pulley kit. Most folks chase horsepower. They forget about freeing it up. That's where lightweight pulleys come in. Think of it like this. Your engine's spinning belts all day. Alternator, power steering, water pump. The heavier those pulleys, the more energy your engine wastes, just turning its own guts. Swap them for lightweight aluminum or underdrive pulleys. You now have less rotational drag. The engine revs quicker, feels snappier, not more horsepower but more usable power. I put a full set on an old 350Z. Felt like I shaved 200 lb off the crank. Throttle picked up faster. Downshifts hit harder. No ECU tune needed. But here's where people mess up. They go too light on the crank pulley and throw off the harmonic balance. That can wreck your bearings or even snap a crankshaft over time. This ain't a lawnmower. It's an engine. Balance matters. Stick with reputable brands like Unorthodox Racing, Fluid Amper, or ATI. And for daily drivers, I skip the underdrive on alternators. Dimming headlights at idle ain't worth the gain. This is one of those sneaky mods. You don't notice it on paper, but the feel behind the wheel is huge. And if you're into mods that actually feel like something, not just look good on a spec sheet, go ahead and smash that like button. Share this with a buddy who's chasing power and subscribe for more top upgrades that make a real difference. Mod number 6, Performance Camshaft. This one's for the folks running naturally aspirated setups who want real mechanical power, not just bolt-on fluff. A performance camshaft is the heartbeat of your engine. It controls when your valves open, how long they stay open, and how much air and fuel get in and out. Done right, you get more top-end power, stronger mid-range, and a wicked exhaust note that lets people know you don't play. Even a mild cam upgrade when paired with matched springs, push rods, and lifter can unlock an extra 30 to 40 horsepower in the right setup. Throttle response sharpens, the rev range widens, and the engine breathes like it finally came alive. But here's where rookies screw up. They slap in a big cam without checking the rest of the valve train. Wrong valve springs, bent push rods, too much lift, piston meets valve, game over. And don't even think about a cam swap without a tune. Your ECU won't know what hit it, and your idle will hunt like a lost hound. Brands like Comp Cams, Brian Tooley Racing, and Texas Speed offer excellent grinds tailored to different goals. Just remember, NA builds shine when the cam is balanced with the rest of the system. Now that the cam's got your valves dancing, let's keep that intake path clean before oil vapor turns it into a tar pit. Mod number 5. Oil catch can. You ever pull an intake manifold off a direct injected engine at 40,000 meters? Looks like someone poured barbecue sauce in there. Thick, black, greasy carbon gunk choking up everything. That junk comes from crankcase blowbee. Oil vapor getting recycled back into your intake. And modern emission systems make it worse, especially on DI engines. That's where the oil catch can comes in. Cheap, simple, and one of the best long-term mods you can do. I install one on every turbo build that rolls into my shop. Hell, even my daily car got one. It catches oil mist before it ever hits your valves. Keeps the intake clean, improves combustion, and helps your engine breathe like it just got a lung transplant. I cracked open my son's GTI catch can after 6,000 mine. Half a cup of nasty black soup. That would have gone straight into the intake valves. Not on my watch. But don't run a knockoff Amazon can with no baffles. That's just a soda can with fittings. You want proper filtration? Look at JLT, Mishimoto, or Radium and empty the damn thing. I've seen guys ignore it and end up with overflow in their intercooler. You kept the engine's lungs clean. Smart move. Now, let's keep her blood cool. Mod number 4, Turbo Timer or Boost Controller. Boost is beautiful, but it's also dangerous if you don't respect it. First off, a turbo timer. I don't care if you're running stock PSI or pushing big numbers. If you shut the engine off right after a hard pull, that turbo is sitting there red hot with oiled up inside the bearings. You just killed its lifespan. A turbo timer lets the engine idle for a minute or two after shutdown. Keeps oil flowing, lets the turbo cool down properly. I've had turbos last over 120,000 miles just because the timer did its job. Now, Boost Controller, manual or electronic, this is how you command the pressure. Stock boost levels are fine for warranty-safe driving. But when you want more grunt and your tune can handle it, a good controller lets you dial it in without spiking or surging. I like TurboSmart for manual setups. For electronic, go with HKS or AEM, reliable, repeatable, built to handle abuse. But let me be clear, don't crank the dial unless the engine's built for it. I've seen pistons turned into ashtrays from overboosting on stock internals. Don't be that guy. We're commanding boost now, but more air means nothing without the fuel to back it up. And trust me, one wrong move with a turbo setup can cost you thousands. Mod number 3, upgraded fuel injectors and pump. You ever see a car lean out under full throttle? It's not pretty. 1 second it's pulling hard. Next second, boom, hole in the piston, engine's done. Why? Not enough fuel. When you start tuning, boosting, camming, whatever, you better make damn sure your fuel system can keep up. That means bigger injectors and a higher flow pump. I've upgraded dozens of setups. Hell, I had a built WRX that hit fuel cut at 5,000 RPM until we swapped in ID 1000s and a Walbro 255. After that, clean pulls all the way to redline. Fuel is your safety net. Run lean and you're playing with fire. But don't just slap in giant injectors for future plans. Too big and your idle goes to crap. Your AFRs are impossible to dial in and your tuner will hate you. Match the size to your build and your goals. Precision matters here. Use quality brands. Injector, Dynamics, Dutchworks, AEM, Bosch, and always retune after fuel upgrades. Don't assume it'll figure itself out. It won't. You've got the air. You've got the spark. Now your fuel's up to the task. But all that hot compressed air, it needs to be chilled before it does real work. Mod number 2, performance intercooler for turbo engines. You can have the biggest turbo in the world, but if your intake air is hot, your power's a joke. That's where a performance intercooler comes in. A good intercooler cools down that compressed air before it hits the combustion chamber. Cooler air equals denser air. Denser air equals more oxygen, more power. Simple science. We already talked about that. The stock intercooler on most turbo cars is built for emissions and economy, not power. It heat soaks fast, especially after a few hard pulls or in warm weather. Once that happens, your ECU pulls timing, your knock sensor panics, and your engine starts feeling like it's dragging a trailer uphill. Now, swap in a larger front mount or upgraded top mount intercooler, and the difference is night and day. Lower intake temps, more consistent power, and no heat soak tantrums. Go with proven brands. Mishimoto, Wagner Tuning, ETS's, Garrett. Look at core size, bar and plate design, and pressure drop ratings, and make sure it fits your setup without blocking too much airflow to the radiator. This mod doesn't just add power, it protects your engine from detonation and keeps things consistent. And now that we've cooled the charge, let's talk brains because all that hardware is useless without control. Mod number 1, forced induction. Turbo or supercharger kit. If you're serious about power, nothing, and I mean nothing, delivers like forced induction. A turbocharger or supercharger kit transforms your engine from a spirited runner into a full-on beast. Naturally aspirated engines rely on atmospheric pressure to breathe. But slap on a turbo or supercharger, and you're cramming more air and more fuel into the cylinders. That means explosive combustion. That means serious horsepower. Gains of 40% to 100% or more aren't uncommon with the right setup and tune. Turbos are more efficient and make crazy power once they spool, but they can have lag. Superchargers offer instant throttle response and a linear power band, but they drain some power to make power. Both have their pros. Both make you grin like a kid on Christmas morning. But don't just bolt one on and pray. You'll need supporting mods. Fuel system upgrades, intercooler, ECU tune, stronger internals if you're pushing it, and most importantly, a trustworthy tuner. This is not a budget bolt-on. It's an investment. But if you want the most bang for your buck, forced induction is the ultimate mod. Just be ready. Once you boost, you'll never want to go back. Now, for the promised bonus, here are 5 mods I'd never recommend. I've watched these do more harm than add horsepower. Mistake number 1. Installing a budget turbo hit without proper tuning or supporting mods. This is the #1 rookie mistake I've seen ruin cars and dreams. Guys bolt on a cheap turbo kit thinking they're getting a 400 horsepower beast for under $1,000. No tune, no upgraded fuel system, no intercooler, nothing. Result: melted turbo, warped pistons, blown head gasket. One guy I knew shelled out $6,300 to fix the carnage, and the car never ran the same. Don't cheap out on boost. If you can't afford to do it right, don't do it. Mistake number 2. Electric superchargers, aka eBay gimmicks. These are scams. Slapping a glorified hairdryer into your intake won't add horsepower. It'll just mess with your air-fuel ratio and possibly trip engine codes. If it doesn't come from a reputable brand and it's under $150, run the other way. Mistake number 3. Octane booster snake oils. Dumping a bottle of mystery chemicals into your tank isn't a mod. It's wishful thinking. Most of these so-called octane boosters only raise your rating by half a point, if that. And modern ECUs, they won't even blink. It's marketing hype in a can. You're better off just buying higher octane fuel from the pump. If you want real results, we've tested the actual fuel additives that work. Check out our video linked above for the ones worth your money. Mistake number 4. Noisy blow-off valves or fake turbo whistles. Want performance? Then skip the sound show mods. Those loud blow-off valves and turbo whistles might sound cool to your cousin in high school, but on the street or track, they add zero performance and just scream. I watched one too many Fast and Furious movies. Mistake number 5. Mismatched parts without a tune. Here's a hard truth. Every mod you do changes how your engine breathes, fuels, or burns. Add the wrong intake, exhaust, injectors, or MAF sensor without tuning. You're creating problems. Your engine won't know how to adjust, and instead of gains, you'll get stalling, knock, or worse. Every part needs to work in harmony. Now that you know how to upgrade your engine with mods that are actually worth your money, don't stop there. But there's one more crucial element you need to know. Some mods are illegal and effective. Click the video on screen now to discover the mods that walk the line between performance and the law.